The views and opinions expressed on this program are not necessarily those of this station, JVC Broadcasting Management, or its sponsors.
The content heard on the Ask Dr. Tommy O Show is for informational or educational purposes only and does not substitute professional medical advice or consultation with healthcare professionals.
Hi, this is retired Army Captain Dr. Tommy O'Brien. For 25 years, I devoted my practice and military career to not only medically treating my patients, I have educated and guided them to a healthier lifestyle which improves the quality of their lives. Please contact me by visiting drtommyo.com. That's drtommyo.com. As an osteopathic medical physician, I am able to offer more than one would expect from an MD. I apply hands-on manipulation in concert with medical treatments to not only treat the illness, but the effects as well. Additional services I provide include medical weight loss and medical marijuana. Please contact me by visiting drtommyo.com for an immediate appointment. If you don't have medical insurance, or if your medical deductibles have not been reached or are very high, I offer an easily affordable membership program which allows you unlimited visits for a small monthly premium. Please contact me by visiting drtommyo.com, drtommyo.com, or call 631-980-8200. That's 631-980-8200. And let's put you on the track to a better health and better healthcare at an affordable rate. Welcome to the Ask Dr. Tommy O Show. I am your host, Dr. Thomas O'Brien. The Ask Dr. Tommy O Show can be heard every Wednesday at 4 p.m. on 103.9 LI News Radio. I offer a very affordable concierge practice which allows you access to quality care you really deserve. With no rush office visits, both you and I can discuss your healthcare needs. As your primary care physician, it is important for me to have a baseline knowledge of your health. This way, when you come to my office not feeling well, knowing your history allows me to properly diagnose and treat your illness. Call my office today to schedule a history and physical. If you wait, it may be too late. To my military family, I got your six. To my Masonic brothers, the light is bright. Last week, the topic was environmental health, specifically indoor pollution, and with the help of KC from Overturned Cleaners. Today's show I'd like to discuss family health, something that's overlooked every single day. We want to discuss the nuclear family and how important the nuclear family ties in with an individual's and family member's health. Family health is a state in which the family provides its individual members with key resources for healthful living, including food, clothing, shelter, a sense of self-worth, and access to medical care. Furthermore, family dynamics significantly impact the family's health in both positive and negative ways. Having a close-knit family and supportive family provides emotional support, economic well-being, and increases overall health. However, opposite is also true. When the family life is characterized by stress and conflict, the health of family members tends to be negatively impacted. To help better understand this topic, I invited my parents, Dr. Thomas and Carol Ann O'Brien, to discuss our family and how they raised my sister Tracy Lynn and I. So I'd like to welcome Dad.
Hi, how are you?
All right.
I'm glad that I'm here to express my views on health
And family.
and
Yes.
Family.
And family.
oh yeah,
Nuclear family.
Yeah, sure.
And I'd like to introduce my mom, Carol.
Hi, how are you?
All right, now you're both professors in here. You're not really saying much. We got to talk.
Okay.
We got to come on. We're going to educate the community. We're in a classroom right now.
Oh,
Yeah.
All right, so let's go over some of your background. So, Dad, you were a college professor, and you take it from there.
well, actually, I was in a seminary, which is very important because it gave me some foundation. From there, I went to St. John's University, and from there, NYU, a few other places. Most important, I had various background, and led me to be an oceanographer. In between that time, I worked as an administrator, And I think you really want to discuss how Carol and I met.
Nice.
Correct.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So that's the real, very important for us.
Right.
So one day I went to a place to go dancing. I loved dancing, and we still dance. Anyway, this very attractive girl was right in front of me, and I said, "This is somebody I like," you know. So I went up to her, and she said no. And she said no 3 times. And I says, "This is terrible. Okay, what's wrong with me?" Anyway, the reality was that there was another girl who approached Carol, and it wound up be somebody I knew very well. And because of that, I went back to Carol and I said, "Would you like to dance with me?" And it started right at that point. Mm-hmm. Talking about being healthy and so forth. Why did she say no? She said no because Mom wouldn't let her go into a car without getting permission.
Well, Mom meaning Grandma.
Grandma.
Right.
And then you want to talk about that?
Well, let's go with some of your background. Yeah. You know, you grew up on the Upper East Side, 97th Street, Manhattan.
Yeah.
You moved to Long Island.
We moved to Long Island, but my upbringing was a little different. Being Italian, we spoke loud, using our arms all over the place. But my family was not into education. You know, so I quit school, and when I got married, thinking about education, I realized that's very important. So we made sure that education was a big part of the kids growing up. The dynamics of the family was that we always talked. We always had time to talk with the kids, and music all the time. Mm-hmm. You know, we danced a lot. Right. And this was very important. For my daughter, I bought Flight of the Bumblebees and the War of 1812, and till this day, she still loves the music, right. The symphonies, you know, and that's how we, you know, became a unit.
Right.
Sure, we have our disagreements, but we care about each other.
Right.
You know,
we're at the point we're going to be 59 years married.
But then again, he's not really telling you. I put him on the auction block at 25 years, but nobody bidded on him, so I had to
So I want
continue.
I want to throw in an idea that's very important for your listeners. Balance, very important.
Give and take.
Give and take. But saying this, what I really mean is, for us, a little sports and a little education at the same time.
Right.
So it has to be balanced, and that's what I mean by balance. Now, as an educator, and of course, my wife became educated, and she wound up having a master's degree and so forth. So she knew exactly how important it was. But what I'm saying is that don't put your eggs in one place. Make sure you have a good balance. You want to help me?
You want to help you? Well, we spent our life running back and forth between working, between driving the kids to their swim practice, me running to classes, coming back, doing my homework, sitting on the bleachers while they finished their practice, swim practice.
Right.
And when I couldn't do it, my husband would, in between his classes, he would run home, pick the kids up, and drop them off. So we spent our time doing that. And it's very important that you keep your children
occupied.
Yes.
But importantly, what we really have to say is that occupied with very productive activities. Also,
no running around in the neighborhood.
Right.
You're not allowed to hang out on a corner.
Right.
Bad things happen on the corner.
On the corner.
Okay.
But what's very important is that we have to, make sure that people understand what we're saying is that when I say active, we were also active.
Okay.
So
let's hang on that point because we're finishing up right here.
Okay.
So hold on to that point, and we're going to go into segment 2, and we'll continue. All right. So if you missed one of my shows or you'd like to listen to my show again, visit my website, drtomio.com. Click Ask Dr. Tommy O, and all my shows will appear. You can also go to youtube.com/Dr. Tommy O. Come and join my practice. Let me help you lead a happier and healthier life. If you wait, it may be too late. To learn more about my practice, go to drtomio.com. That's drtomio.com. Or you can give me a call, 631-980-8200. 631-980-8200. Welcome back to the Ask Dr. Tommy O Show. I'm your host, Dr. Thomas O'Brien. Today's topic, family health. Let's continue. All right, so I'm here with my parents, Dr. Thomas O'Brien and Carol Ann O'Brien. Both of them were college professors. My mom taught at Suffolk Community College as well as Nassau Community College. She has 35 years experience. My father taught at Nassau Community College for almost 54 years. He was assistant dean of the university as well as assistant president of the university. So he was the key. He was the man. So if there was any issues, he got the phone call. So knowing this, now you understand how important education was and how they encouraged me to move forward and become the individual, the person, the doctor I am today. So let's continue about the family nucleus and how important that nucleus is and how important health is and the exposure going to doctors and the positive relationships that I had with my physicians.
Yes, Tom really had a relationship with his pediatrician. When he was going to medical school, he would go to the pediatrician and Dr. Agaloff would tell him, Tom, you need to get your own doctor now. You're too old.
I remember, when I needed a physical, when you enter school, you need to have a physical and make sure your immunizations are up to date. So I didn't have I'm 26 now, okay? I just turned 26. So I didn't have a PCP, no family physician. And so I went back to my pediatrician and he just says, Tommy, you're too old for me, but I'll do it for you. You're going to medical school, I'll do it.
Yes. But we always made sure that the kids had all their shots. They went to the dentist all the time. And my kids always wind up, when they got sick, it was something unusual, not a normal sickness, but something crazy,
So right when we're going on vacation.
Right when we were going, or Christmas time when he had his paper out.
Yeah.
And he would be sick over the holidays, and my husband and I would be delivering his newspapers.
Yes.
And I can talk about that. He has a way about himself, and of course this would explain it. When I went out to pick up the amount of money, I would say, you owe us 35 cents, whatever it was. And so they would say, oh, no. I said, what do you mean? No. Well, I'm a senior citizen. I get a special break. He says, what do you got to be kidding? So at 10 years old, he was already giving a lot of freebies away. But anyway, I want to impress one thing about family is involvement for the more than the children. And we said a little bit about Tommy and Tracy, but you have to also realize that we spent a lot of time learning ourselves how to be parents. And what we did was we joined groups, okay? Now, important about joining groups is you got to continue that. And a lot of parents don't do that. They come in, they
Drop their kids off.
and so forth. And we wound up chaperoning them. But more importantly, remember that when you retire, and we're retired, that you can't stop. You have to continue doing things. So I was in the Knights of Columbus. My wife was in a lot of different organizations. So you got to continue those kinds of activities because you become brain dead after a while, you know. And for me, I'm over 80, believe it or not. You'd be surprised. I retired when I was almost 74. And that's a long time to work. And then what do you do after that? So one of the things about health is your personal health, okay? So you have to give your children a good example. One of those examples, of course, is mom and dad are involved in their own programs. And continue that kind of philosophy all the way through their life. All right. So you have some. I could see.
Yeah,
I could see my wife. She has something to say.
That's right.
Jump in.
We always encourage the kids to work towards what they wanted. Support. When my son was going to medical school or even younger, in the middle of the night, he'd call his father up, and for 2 or 3 hours, they would talk just to take stress off or understand what's happening. You know, it's stressful, it's this, it's that.
Absolutely.
So we were always there.
I can give you a story about that. Hold on.
Yeah.
I remember, the mindset was I'm going to medical school to learn to become a doctor or a physician. So my first year, it was not like that at all. It was basically biology, but we're going deep now. I mean, a deep dive into biology, and that's not what I expected. So the first month, I called and I wanted to quit medical school 3 times because that's not what I thought medical school was going to be. I was here to become a physician, not do biology all over again. I already have 3 degrees in science. So I called my father up. Now I was in Iowa, so there's an 1 hour time distance. So I called up. And it had to be about 2:00 in the morning. He picks up the phone, and I'm basically venting. And my father turns around and goes, "Listen, Tommy." I said, "This is the 3rd time." I said, "I had enough already." He goes, "You know what? Why don't you pack your bags? Your bed's still warm. Come home." And you know what? And then hung up on me. I said, he hung up on me? Oh, you got to be kidding me. Of course, I had other words. And I jumped into bed, and you know what? That lit my flame. And I said, I'm going to even work harder than I ever did. And from that point on, I did well. And I made it through. But that was one of those, that's one thing, when you have a family unit, close family unit, you're working together as a team, and he knows how to push the buttons to get things going. Some people don't know how to get the engine started. Well, my engine starts on its own, but sometimes to get over that hill, when things get really, really tough, he's going to push that button to get that afterburner and push me over that hill. So, and that even applies, like with health, certain issues, you were there, we get injured. Unfortunately, Tracy and I really didn't suffer many injuries. So that was well. But unfortunately, every time we went on vacation, I was the one who always got sick. And, so I was laying in bed while everyone was enjoying themselves. And even today, I still get sick when we go away on vacation. All right. So, in retirement, we must maintain being active. You have to continue to keep being involved in your community. Go to the doctor, come to me. Let me, a routine history and physical. You have something you'd like to say?
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to get into the religious part.
Okay, because we have 150 left.
It's very important to give your children a good foundation. And when you have a good foundation, we all live, in my opinion, live in a box. And that box means foundation. It means ethics and morals. No one says you can't push on the walls of the box to expand, but once you step out of that box, there's no consequences. And that's what our young people don't understand. Consequences, respect, and responsibility.
Right.
And this is what I have, and Tom have taught our kids.
Yes.
You know?
Absolutely. There's always there's action, reaction, and consequences to those. So that's why modifiable, non-modifiable. You cannot control someone else's actions. You can control your own. So that's where you need to focus the energy. Unfortunately, the health of our society and community right now is 2 deviation. Actually, the standard deviation plus or minus 1 is healthy. We are now 4 deviations from the norm, which is an unhealthy society. All right, so we're getting ready to wrap out. We got 39 seconds left here. So let me just finish out the show. I want to thank both of you for being on the Dr. Tommy O Show, because you gave me this opportunity to become the physician I am today.
We're really comedians.
Yeah, we are.
All right. So now we're wrapping out here. All right, so come and join my practice. Let me help you lead a happier and healthier life. You wait, it may be too late. To learn more about my practice, go to drtommyo.com. That's drtommyo.com, or give me a call at 631-980-8200, 631-980-8200. Thank you, and God bless.
The content heard on the Ask Dr. Tommy O Show is for informational or educational purposes only and does not substitute professional medical advice or consultation with healthcare professionals.
The views and opinions expressed on this program are not necessarily those of this station, JVC Broadcasting Management, or its sponsors.